You've spent days scripting, filming, and refining every cut. You finally export that final frame and collapse into your chair. You reach for your phone, open the YouTube app, and hit the basic upload button. It feels like the work is finally over. But the mobile app is a tool designed for speed, not precision. By using it, you are bypassing the complex backend menus that actually dictate how a video is indexed and distributed. When you skip those menus, you launch without basic context. The algorithm has to spend the first few hours or days figuring out who your audience is by trial and error, rather than being told exactly who to look for. The YouTube app is built for viewers to scroll and watch content in seconds. It wasn't designed to handle the heavy metadata needs of a professional publisher. This gap in functionality creates what I call view leakage. Because the app locks you out of advanced settings, your potential reach is constantly draining away through missing data points and structural dead ends. Stopping these leaks doesn't require a desktop computer. You just have to change how you access the platform from your mobile browser. Open your mobile browser and search for the desktop version of YouTube. This one simple bypass gives you the same publisher control center used by the biggest channels on the platform. This layout might look cluttered on a small screen, but it unlocks every setting the standard app hides from you. The first leak is simple human error. Typing out complex descriptions and links on a phone screen for every upload is tedious, which leads to forgotten keywords and broken social links. In the desktop studio, you can set upload defaults. This allows you to pre-fill your main description and core tags, so they are ready to go the moment you start a new upload. By automating this, you ensure the system receives the same high-quality data every time you post. It removes the guesswork, giving your video the best possible chance to reach the right people immediately. Metadata is just the foundation. The next major leak happens while the viewer is actually watching your video. YouTube often uses AI to automatically generate video chapters. But if those chapters are inaccurate, they act like unintended exit ramps, showing a viewer exactly when to stop watching. If your video doesn't have a strict step-by-step structure, you should disable auto chapters in the uploader. Forcing the viewer to experience the natural flow of your edit protects your retention rate. But the most severe leak happens at the very end. If a viewer finishes your video and doesn't have a clear next step, they'll simply leave the app. The desktop uploader allows you to add end screens. Instead of leaving it to chance, you can give the viewer a specific, urgent reason to stay on your channel, like pointing them to a follow-up video they didn't know existed. We can see the proof in the data. This strategy pulled in over 160,000 extra views from end screens alone, driven by a 33% click-through rate. Funneling this audience into another video creates a loop, compounding your total watch time across the channel. End screens are one of the most powerful retention tools available, yet they are almost entirely ignored by the standard mobile app. Once your settings are locked, you're left with one final action, the physical act of making the video live. Most creators hit public the moment the upload bar hits 100%. This is a mistake. Instead, you should always save your video as unlisted first. This creates a critical buffer phase between the upload and the launch. While your video is unlisted, YouTube is still working. It needs time to render the high-definition version of your file and run automated checks for copyright and monetization. This buffer also allows you to open your own video and pin a strategic comment. This way, you set the tone of the community discussion before the first subscriber even arrives. When you finally do switch to public, the algorithm is distributing a fully resolved, high-quality asset with no hidden flags or errors. You've now moved from being a casual uploader to managing a professional studio environment directly from your phone. But having a perfectly optimized video sitting in your dashboard leads to one more hurdle: identifying the specific window when your audience is actually online to watch it. If you release a great video when your viewers are asleep, your initial velocity will fail. I've broken down exactly how to find your channel's peak activity time in the video on screen right now. Optimizing your workflow is useless if you don't have the timing to trigger that initial push. Click the video on screen to see how the schedule acts.